So, hello everyone, I'm Backend here. Welcome back to the course. So, in today's tutorial, we are going to see about Firebase RecyclerView. Before going into RecyclerView, I'll explain a few things about what we have seen so far, and then I'll give you a comprehensive introduction into Firebase RecyclerView, and we'll get right into the coding part. So far in this Android course, we have seen how to design a splash screen. Then we talked about how to design a bottom navigation application. On the first screen, we have used Firebase database. We have written data to Firebase database, and then we retrieve data from Firebase real-time database. That is what we did in the first screen. On the second screen, we did file upload to Firebase storage. We got a description from the user. We also upload the URL reference and the description that the user has typed to storage, and then we are here to the final part where we are going to retrieve all the content from Firebase storage. Before I go any further, let me go ahead and show the database structure. So data expand. So this is how our database looks like, and within our feed star we have three things: first name, then description, then the URL of the image that we are going to retrieve. So this is what we have our presentation. So in the bottom, in the recycler view, we are going to get the name, we are going to get the content, and then we are going to get the image, and we are going to be doing it iteratively so that we get all the images that are being uploaded by each and every user. That is what we are going to do there. So let me explain what are the necessary things for a recycler view. First thing, we need a card view. This card view is the template of how one instance of the data that is to be retrieved should look like. So this card view is the template UI that holds the data. This template is standard, and all the content that we retrieve from Firebase database are going to set into this content. So that is the template UI that we are designing. It is going to be a card view. Then we'll be designing a database model class. This database model class will be a class within which you can get the content directly from Firebase database, and you will be saving it into this database model class. So our database model class will have some name within which it will have three variables. One will be name, another will be description, and another will be URL. It will be of the same case as this thing is, because this is the thing from which it is going to retrieve the content. So we'll be having that model class, and then we'll be having two things. Will be our data view holder. This data view holder will basically take one instance of this database model class, fit it into this card view, and then it will make it into an item. So this item will then be pushed into our recycler view with the help of the second thing, which is our Firebase RecyclerAdapter. This Firebase RecyclerAdapter takes the database model class and data view holder as two wrapper class parameters. It also takes four other arguments. The first thing is our database model class, the second thing is our card view, third thing is our data view holder, and the fourth one is our database reference. That is our Firebase database reference, which in our case will be feed section, because that is the next thing from our root reference. So we are going to give database reference as feeds. Now let's go ahead and see how recycler view is going to work. First, recycler view adapter. In our case, it is a Firebase recycler view adapter. There are other ways to equip an adapter for recycler view. In our case, we are going to be sticking with Firebase RecyclerAdapter. I'll also give the implementation of the libraries that we are supposed to use in the description. You can get it. Now let's go ahead. This recycler view adapter, this Firebase recycler view adapter, is going to take two things. It will be our data class, and the other will be our data view holder class. This data class is the class within which we are going to get the data from the Firebase and store it into it. This is a template model class, and our data view holder class is something which is going to get the data from the data class. It is going to put it into our template UI. It will change it into an item, and then it will move on to the next data from Firebase. What does it do? It has a function called populate view holder by which it does this item conversion process. So in this, it gets the first data item, it sets it to the card view, and then it adds it into the recycler view. it by default holds an incremental value, and then it will increment the incremental value by 1. So that is, it does not it does not, what to say, it does not get the reference of the name content that we use under, but in general it considers every child of feeds to be a data reference instance, and once it reaches this instance it will increment the value and look for the next instance irregards of its name, and then it just repeats the process so that it gets every content as soon as it is uploaded. Now let's get to the coding part and start coding. So just go ahead, look into how our database looks like. So in feeds we have some reference variable, and then we have things like URL, name, description, and of sort. So let's go ahead. We just our code part. So this is our code part. And first let me say what are the things that we are gonna add extra. So these two are the things that we are adding extra as of now. The reason why we are adding these two things is the com.google.android.material is to get our card view, and the Firebase database UI is to get our Firebase RecyclerView adapter. So these are the two implementations that we have used. We are also going to be using Picasso. We already know what Picasso is, so we'll just go ahead directly. So now what are the things that we need? We are going to do everything in our feeds fragment. So let me. So this is our feeds fragment. Now let's just go ahead and create a recycler view. We're going to create a recycler view. We already have it. Now we have our recycler view. Now what is the problem? It is not vertically constrained. Let's just go ahead and vertically constrain. Problem solved. So this is our recycler view. Let me go ahead and give it an ID. I'm going to name it as RECY. Let it be RECY. So that's it. So our part to be done in the feeds fragment is basically over. Now as for the presentation, we are supposed to do things like, first thing first, we are supposed to create a card view. Let's go ahead and create our card view. So now in our layout, I'm gonna go ahead. This is my layout folder. Just look what I'm doing. I'm gonna go to head to my layout folder. I'm gonna right click on it. I'm gonna go to new layout resource file, and then I'm gonna change the root element to my card view. We get something called card view. Just hit OK with it. Now we are gonna name our file. I'm gonna name it as card. Then let's just hit enter. So this is our template. Let's get to split mode. So now we would have to specify certain things into it. So first thing first, let me go ahead and do that stuff. So layout height and width is common for all, so let that be there. For height, let's set a designated height of 300 display pixels. And then I'm gonna give something called corner radius, corner radius, and this corner radius is gonna be of 20 dp. The reason why I'm giving it is you will be able to see a small corner around there, and then we'll have a margin for this. So margin of 5 display pixels on all sides, so that this takes away the element from for 5 display pixels from all sides. Make it 10 so that this this is how it is gonna look like. And then I want it to have a certain background color, so I'm gonna give it a certain background color. I'm gonna give it the color that we use in our main activity 2.xml. So let me go there and pick it out. So this is a color that we used. And I'm gonna put it over here. That the color of my card view is. Now all these things are almost done. So let's just go ahead and start coding, working into our code views or working into our code part. Now what do we need? What are the things that we are going to put into our card view? We are going to basically put 3 elements. What are the 3 elements? First thing is going to be a name. Second thing is going to be a description. Third thing is going to be an image, and we are going to load that image from this URL. Let's go ahead. First, let's create a linear layout. Within this linear layout, we will do everything. So create a linear layout of content, content. Within this linear layout, we're gonna have an edit. We're gonna have an we're gonna have a plain text. We're gonna have another plain. We're gonna have another plain text. It is a multi-line text. We are gonna have another multi-line text, and then after that multi-line text, we are gonna have an image view. And this image view is just gonna be without stuff. So I'm just gonna go. So it does not come. So do not worry. We'll just handle that. So just take these two things. I'm just gonna take that. The orientation of linear layout is not set. Let's go ahead and do that. So orientation is gonna be vertical, so that it comes one below the other. And then we also have our image view. Let's just go ahead and do that. Image view. And we'll slash it out. We need an ID for this image view. I'm gonna give it something like image view 3. That, and then let's go ahead and give a name for our go ahead and give it a name. It's gonna be description base. And it is gonna be named by default, so we do not have anything to change. Now this wrap content will basically just put the image to size, but we'll do we'll set this to match parent. We'll set wrap content to something like 260 display pixels or some height. And we'll increase that by a bit. It is given as wrap content. We'll give it to match parent. And the width to match parent, so that it covers the entire card view. So yeah, it covers the entire card view, and we have all our stuff in here. Now we would also give a background over here, and I want that background to be of this color. Every time something loads, it's gonna be loaded into a color of this sort. Let's go ahead and increase the overall height of the card view by 350 display pixels. And the card corner radius could also be increased some level. So let's put it to 30 display pixels instead of 20. So we are able to, and then we can give something like elevation to take it side of the thing by a certain display pixels, so that it appears as if it is floating in the room. So that is what this thing is for. So that's it. All of the things that we can do is done. So now our template card view is ready. Let's get to our template class. I'm gonna go to my feeds section. I'm gonna create a new class called data class, and this data class is gonna have three things: public string, one will be name. We are not supposed to change the case, it should match the case as in our database. So gonna follow the same thing. So bc, and then we are gonna have a URL, put up a semicolon. Now we are gonna give a constructor for this. Just go ahead to generate and click on constructor. First create an empty constructor, then we create a constructor with all three data items. We're going to give something like constructor with all three data items. Then we are going to apply getter and setter methods to this. So go ahead to generate getter and setter, select all three data items and hit OK. So that's it. This is our template class. The template class part is also over. Now we are supposed to do our backend works in our fragment feeds. So this is what our fragment feeds look like, and this is the backend part of our feeds fragment. Now first thing first, let's connect our recycler view to our feeds fragment. So how do we do that? we are gonna create something. First, we are gonna declare a recycler view. Then what are all the other things that we are gonna use? We are gonna be using Firebase database, or it is gonna be Firebase date. Yeah, we are gonna be using Firebase database. So what do? We usually get a database reference, right? So that is what we are gonna do. We are gonna give a database reference. Then what else are we gonna use? That's it. These are the things that we are gonna use. Now let's instantiate all of them. So I'm going to instantiate my database reference first. Database reference is equal to Firebase database get instance dot get reference. So it will basically point to my root. Let it be there. Now we are supposed to instantiate our recycler view. Recycler view equal to root dot q by id r dot id dot recy, and let's put up a semicolon there. Let's put up a semicolon over there. So that's it. Now we are gonna add a few more things to this. Okay. We are gonna keep our database reference as a synced one. So this attribute will basically keep our database synced. And then what else do we need? We are gonna set something called recycler view that has fixed size. True. So that the recycler view doesn't jump off in any way. Wait a second. And then we are gonna have layout manager for this thing. Set layout manager, new layout manager, new linear layout manager, get context. So we are gonna be using this line, instantiate these items in a linear fashion. The item which is gonna come in is basically gonna be our card view that we are gonna instantiate each reference in a linear fashion. So that is what we are done. We are almost over with our preface. Now let's get to the actual coding part. So in the actual coding part, we are gonna do something like Firebase RecyclerAdapter. You can see FirebaseRecyclerAdapter takes two things. Let me just go ahead and enter that. This thing is basically gonna take two things. One is gonna be data, another one is gonna be DataViewHolder. DataViewHolder. We do not have any DataViewHolder as of now. We'll declare that. But for now, let's just go ahead. New Firebase RecyclerView adapter with DataViewHolder. That's it. And these things basically takes 4 arguments as we already discussed. The first argument is gonna be my data.class. The second argument is my model layout. As you can see, it just shows the description of what are the contents that are needed. It requires my model layout. My model layout is card.xml. So how do we access card.xml? It is basically in layout, right? So r.layout.card. Basically do that. We got that. Now we are supposed to give our data view holder. Let's just go ahead and do something like data view holder. And finally, we'll give our database reference, which we have already instantiated. So that will be database reference. So that's it. Now we are looking for our database reference. That is what we are supposed to do. Now we can create our database reference class. So public static class data view holder recycler view dot holder. Then this class basically has a super method. I'm just gonna create a constructor and I'm gonna name this view as item. View is gonna be item, and we're gonna do something like view view. I'm supposed to declare it over here in central, so I'm just going to take it out. So view, and this view is basically gonna get my item reference. So this thing will comprise of my single item. Now once again, now we are gonna have a few functions. So these functions are gonna go like public void set name, and it is gonna basically take a string name, and it is gonna do something. The same way we are gonna have three functions. One will be get description, another will be get URL. Let's change this one to URL. Set URL. This will be set description, and it will be DSC. Now all these things have a certain thing to be done. So this set name is gonna set the name. So what is gonna have? It is gonna have something like, it is gonna have an edit text to which it has to set the data. The edit text post, let me have it as post equal to edit text of view dot find view by id r dot id dot the name you used over here in your card view. So this is the name which you need to give there. So instead of this thing, since it will be more confusing, I'm gonna do something like rec username rec dac rec image, which is basically to identify that all these things are RecyclerView stuff. Let's get back to our UI part. Let's put up a semicolon over here and let's link our rec username, and then we are gonna do something like post.set text of the name that we get. So we're gonna follow the same thing for the rest too. Let me just go ahead and for string set URL, it is gonna differ, and instead of username, we are gonna do something RECDESC, and it's gonna be description. Let's, all these are local variables, so you do not need to care, but anyway, we'll change that. So edit text of REC image. These things are not of image part, so let's just go ahead and erase all that. This thing will not use. So image view equal to view by id r dot id dot rec image. Put up a semicolon. Now we're gonna use our Picasso library to load our image URL into our current image. How do we do that? Picasso.get load URL, and we are gonna fit it into our image view. We are gonna fit it into our image view. So that's it. Our data view model, data view holder class is also complete. Let's go ahead. So our populate view holder takes three things, as you can see. First thing, it takes our data view holder, then it takes our data, and then finally it takes this I on which we have no control. This I is basically our database item variable instance, which will automatically increment itself each time it finds a new item in our Firebase database reference. For example, our database reference has only 0. If it gets 1, it will automatically increment its integer value by 1. and it will go on adding all that stuff in. Right, and do our part. Data view holder dot set name data view holder dot set description data view holder set URL is all gonna work based on the data that we get from Firebase, which will be held in our template model class, that is data dot get name data dot get data dot get URL. So these things will basically get that, and all our part will be working. So now let's just go ahead and run our code. Oh yeah, we forgot one major thing. We did not instantiate the Firebase Recycler Adapter itself. So let's do that part. So RecyclerView.set adapter as a Firebase Recycler Adapter. That's it. We have done, all our coding part is done. Okay. And wait for it. Obviously, it is not going to work as of now, but it will not show any error either. That is the problem with Firebase RecyclerView Adapter. Let's just, we'll wait till this. So that's it. If I go there, it will not show any error. It will not do anything either. So this is the problem with Firebase Recycler Adapter. So as you can see here, no adapter attached. So we're gonna do something like, we're gonna go ahead and run that again. Now we have attached our adapter. Now we might be able to see some output over here, right over there. So let's get to our recycler adapter. We are facing some sort of an error. Wait a second. Firebase data exception cannot convert type of object Java array. We missed something, it seems. Wait a second. Let's get back to our code part. Let's recheck our code. Oops, I found the problem. The mistake we did is we declared all of these things are edit text. It cannot be edit text. It has to be text view because they are not giving a context of editable stuff right there. It should be of text view because it is just gonna retrieve that content and display it over there. So you are not supposed to give it as edit text. Let's just go ahead and change it into text view. Text view. That's what it is. It is gonna be text. And all, I think there is some problem with that. Can't be that big either. Let it be wrap content. If wrap content, and the size should be display. Size should be something like this. Size should be of around 10 or 20 dp. dp is still too small. Let's put it around 30 dp. Add a little margin to that so it does not go ahead and stick to the all margin. That it moves up, moves not. That it moves in. So let's just zoom it in. Okay. Name is fine. We are gonna add the same margin left to our listing too. So let's just go ahead and do that. And then we'll add the description content to be of size, not scroll bar size, just Android description. It's gonna be of something 20 dp, and it's gonna be a frog content. So that is okay. That's okay. Everything is. So let's get back to our code part. It is not gonna be edit text. It is gonna be text view. So text view, and let this thing be text view. If it is of type text view, it cannot be of edit text context. Let's go ahead and remove that. Go ahead and remove that one too. Let's run it once again. So once again, our application has crashed. We need to know why. Get the same error. Can't convert java.type of util.array list. The problem is we did not change our database reference. The thing is, it is trying to retrieve content directly from our database reference, which leads to our second problem. It is trying to retrieve everything, and all these things are of different types, and it is getting confused that the things we said are not in the type of our database model class. So let's set our reference to fields, and it should basically fix every problem that we are facing as of now. Now we have fixed it to fields. Now let's just go ahead and run that once again. Now we have finally fixed the problem. Let's get to our fields part. It's not yet. Yeah. So this is how you work it out. You are able to see the image over there. If we get the card view a little bigger and set some color to our background instead of the card view, it might look fine. Go ahead to our card view. Let's remove this color. It looks a little bit awkward. So I'm just removing this color. And instead of color in our linear layout and card view, we'll add the color elsewhere. And I want to give it as 370 dp. Let's put it to 380 dp. And then we'll give the image a little more space. Set it to 300 display pixels. And this fragment background, and we'll use the same color that we have been using so far. Now with all the changes that are being made, let's go. Just hit retry. So yeah, it shows the content and it is still a little bit awkward, but okay, let's not worry about that. At the same time, this thing still looks a bit right over there. You can always change the UI to however you want. So let me just go ahead and demonstrate the database part. Let's go ahead, add a few content, load a few things, and then we'll check it out once again. So instead of this thing, let's just go ahead and we'll take a new picture and then we'll try to upload it. Now we'll just go ahead. When you're using emulator, it will basically show you a virtual screen of the camera. So don't mind that, we'll just go use that picture itself. So let's just grab this picture. So that is done. Let's switch back to our application. Now switch to images, camera, and it will basically have this one single image. Let's just select it. I'm going to give a description called testing database. And everywhere. So we entered all that. Now let's just go ahead and hit upload. It is uploading the content, and now we'll get another child within our database. Wait a second, we did not change our integer variable, so let's go ahead, let's try to upload an image once again. So as you can see, it just overwritten the content as it thought that it already had a reference of that content, since we did not refresh our Firebase data state within our application. If we get into our feeds, we'll basically get the current thing that we uploaded as of now. That thing is there. Now instead, let me go ahead and try to upload another image, not want the same image. So let me get to my other image. Let me put second, and let's upload this image. So it is uploading the content. Now we have it. We got the second thing, and if I move to my feeds part, I'll basically have the second thing. And we almost forgot one thing that we promised. We did not say how to set an icon for your application. So first, let me set an icon because that is something that I promised in the last class. So we'll go ahead and do that part. So if you want to set an icon, you need to have your image somewhere in your file, right? So that is what first we are going to do. We are going to import our image, and then we are going to set your icon. So let me just go ahead and grab my icon from the assets folder. I have it in the assets folder. So this is the icon that we are going to keep. So let's just copy that. So now I'm going to head directly to my folder. Now let's put it into drawable. So I think I have already done that. We already have that. Let's delete one of our D's. Let's take the other one D that we have. Deleted it, so it takes some time to delete it. So don't worry. So yeah, it got deleted. So yeah, it deleted both of our D's. Let's just go ahead and paste up a new D. But this is not the place where we are supposed to post it. We are supposed over here. I have switched to the project pane. Now I am in my app. I'm expanding my sources within my app, and then within that I'm gonna expand my main, and within that I am gonna expand my resources. Within that I have something called MIMAP, and within which I'm gonna drop my image. So this is the place where I'm gonna drop my image. So I'm gonna put my D right over there. So that's it. So my D is basically in that. So I'm gonna paste my D in all these folders. It is not necessary, and these things are the reason why. If these things are here, because if your phone is of a different version, it has to have a different icon to suit that version of your OS, right? So that is why it is being used. And another pro tip: so when you are developing an application for let's say some high version, some high version phone, and it might not be running on a low version phone because the image assets that you have used might be of high resolution, and that phone might not be compatible to it. So what you have to do is, if you are using any sort of high resolution images, just come here and drop it into your MIMAP folder, with whether if it is of XX HDPI resolution or if it is of XXX HDPI resolution, just drop it into there. So then now let's go ahead. Just get over here, my map slash D, hit it right there. Just go ahead and hit install. We already have our D within our my map MIMAP. As you can see, we have put our D right there. So D is right there in all versions. So let's just go ahead and run this. So we see our basically just install, and you will be able to see our icon over there. Go ahead and reinstall. So yeah, let's just go ahead and check our icon. So yeah, there we have our icon. We do not have our icon. Because we did not have our icon because it is not set in this round icon, and basically that phone has only round version compatibility. Now if I hit apply changes, again it will ask me to reinstall and restart. So these are the things that you will generally face if you are developing an application for different sort of stuff. So just be aware of it. So now let's just go ahead and check for that icon. Yep, we basically have our social media icon, so which is that. So this is how you basically develop a social media application. Mine is a very simple, very uncomplicated application. But if you want a more complicated application, you can develop and build it based on your database. Your application will be only as good as how its backend supports it, and you would have to have a pretty clear backend, and only then you will be having a successful application. So that is all that I want to say here. So all the best, guys. All the best. Just if you want to get the source code of this application, I already have put it in the put it in the description. You can always get it from the GitHub repo. So thank you all. Thank you for this course, and I hope this was informative enough. If you are facing any difficulties in this course, you can always put it down in the comment section. We will always help you out. So thank you all.